Hey everyone, how are you doing on hump day? Y'all know it's hump day, right? How y'all doing out there? Hey Summer, how you doing, honey? So I just now getting on and get trying to get myself together, y'all. Zane threw up right before I came on. Not right before, but maybe about 8:45. He went to bed. I knew something was wrong because he fell asleep on me sitting on the couch. Anyway, he had threw up all over the bed, and so thank God for the team effort. Me and Julian and Jonathan and Larice, all of us. It was all hands on deck. So, but anyway, so yeah. Anyway, I'm a little scattered right now. So let's see. What are we gonna talk about? So this is sorry, y'all. See my little TikTok. But so this is real life talk with April. So that's what we're gonna do. Y'all know. So let's talk about something. Did y'all know that New Zealand has completely eradicated coronavirus? Go look it up. You don't gotta believe me. Hey Ross, go look it up. New Zealand has eradicated coronavirus. They haven't had a case in weeks, days, long time. I don't know, but they got rid of it. I would think it has something to do with the fact that they didn't think that their rights were being taken because they had to stay in the house. But I don't know. But I do know that they had closed all of their borders. No one could come in that did not live there, and that was it. And anyway, but they haven't had a new case in weeks. So good job, New Zealand, right? As the numbers here in America and Florida specifically continue to increase. But hey, I don't know. I just take care of myself and my family. Y'all know the policy. And I know y'all saw where I went to Soul Food Sunday with my family and we played bingo and stuff. But the family member's house we were at is a medical professional. And there were guidelines. There were only so many people and only specific people. So, I'm much more comfortable in those type of situations. So, yeah. So it was fun and I enjoyed it, but it is what it is. I got a feeling coronavirus is in America to stay kind of like the flu. And it's okay. So what else is going on today? Anything anybody else that saw that's going on interesting in the world? Because I don't just like to talk about Florida or America. I like to talk about global stuff, you know. But let's see. Oh, NASCAR is getting said no more Confederate flags. Which, if you're an American, you should not like the Confederate flag. Period. I mean, let's just period. If you're an American, you shouldn't like the Confederate flag. The Confederate flag is the most anti-American thing in America, I believe. That everybody, all of these people, so much, hey Carmen, they want to see. But truthfully, the Confederate flag represents the Confederate being against the laws of America and against the Constitution and against America. So, you know, it's not just a black thing. Honestly, the Confederate flag is anti-American, but y'all had more to say about Colin Kaepernick taking a knee than you do about the Confederate flag that so many Southerners love. You know what I'm saying? Let's not forget the fact that the reason why they were mad with the Americas is because um, they wanted to keep slaves. They wanted Africans to continue to be slaves. Are you kidding me? Come on. That's what it was all about. And so you're mad about some cloth with a hatred symbol on it, and then I was listening on a WFLA, y'all, that's Tampa's news station, but they was answering questions. And one of the people talking about what if it's a tattoo. Look, now I know there's some regrettable tattoos out there. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any tattoos, so I don't have any to regret. But I've heard people and seen people, cover up tattoos are a thing, right? That's because the first tattoo was a mess, and maybe the second or third one, might be your fourth or fifth cover up. So I would suggest start small, so as you cover it up, it can get a little bigger, right? But if you into tattoos and tattooing stuff about other people or whatever, but anyway, what type of person would get that? We need to look at all of them that have a Confederate flag tattoo, like we look at people that's got the swastika. Are you kidding me? I'm just saying. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. This evening, I watched a pastor. Y'all might know him if you're local. His name's Vidal Williams. Pastor Williams. He's in Lake City at Faith Bible Church. I think I got that right. Roslyn, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's Faith Bible Church, and it's in Sanderson, Florida. But he said something today. Many of you know that I have those of you that do know me know that I kind of run from. But something he said today. He said that we have to start in our homes. You know what I'm saying? For change. He said that there are laws that protect against all kinds of stuff that has happened, right? That should not be occurring. And that there are laws against those things. It's just pretty much that the people in position are interpreting the it wrong in Faith Bible Church of Sanderson. Yeah, I got it right. So are interpreting it wrong because they don't understand fairness, essentially. They don't understand just it is fair and even for everyone, right? And the reason for that is because of what they've been taught. It has nothing to do with the laws per se. It has to do with the person who is in authority that is enforcing the law. Because the truth is, we got too many, the government is too involved in our lives as is. You can disagree with me all you want to, but they are too involved in our lives here in America. It's too much. It's too much. You can't even collect rainwater. You got to report that. Child, that's ridiculous. So, but what he was saying is valid, and we all have to take responsibility for that and what we're teaching and what we're allowing in our homes. And I say that because a lot of people, the children, they know every song on the radio. And look, I'm talking to everybody right now. I don't care if it's country music, hip hop, or I don't care. They know every song on the radio, but they can't tell you 3 facts about their ancestry. Your child is a straight A student in public school, but cannot tell you 3 facts about where they came from. That is important, that children understand who they are, where they come from, because they need to have a sense of belonging. It's important for humans to have that sense of belonging. And without knowing who you are, you cannot have that. For instance, I found out that my father wasn't white and that he was Hispanic when my mother married the racist Freddie Roden, and he began to sexually assault me because he used to tell me that that's all I was good for, that I wasn't worth anything because of who my daddy was. He knew more about my father than I did. And what an angry, hateful way to find out, right? And I'm not going to cry or get upset about it because you know what? I give God all the glory for the fact that I'm sitting here right now and can tell that story. And for whatever reason it is that God has allowed me to survive and graciously allowed me to live through has all had purpose. Period. So I think about that. And I think about, how it's always been important to me to make sure all of our children understood who they were, who they are, what makes them unique. Our children are unique. They're Dominican and black and white. They're Hispanic. They're Native American. They're black. They're Filipino. And I'm including in this all of our son and daughter in love as well, because they have children, and those children are our bloodline. So our ancestry, our history is their history. But don't get that confused with your history being the thing that is a generational curse as well. Right? Because generational curses are very serious and they're very important to understand. Because listen, they go hand in hand. Our generational curses and our ancestry, they run together. It's history. Our job is to make sure that those things are cut off, no matter what it is. If it's wrong, for instance, I still have terrible money habits, y'all. Terrible. I'm gonna be real honest. Terrible. If I want to spend money on something, I don't care. I'm gonna spend it. It doesn't matter if I need it. If I want it, I'm gonna get it. I've gotten better. But the thing is, I never had look, when I tell you we were poor growing up, I can remember the lights being off. I remember sleeping on pallets on the floor because there was no beds. I remember eating at the neighbor's house, Mama Midge. I remember. So I understand not having. But there is a difference in, so when I got where I had money, y'all, I just spent it. You understand? When I went in the Navy at 4 days after I graduated high school and got out of boot camp, A school and C school, child, I was maxing out credit cards, making all kind of foolish mistakes. I didn't teach my children that. All of my children have a sound understanding of money. Now, what they choose to do is their choices, but it's not because they did not know or because I didn't teach them. So that is what the pastor was saying is very honest in everything in our lives and in our homes. Everything we're teaching our children. But you have to teach your children their history. You have to teach your children all history, honestly, because how can you understand another view or perspective or what was going on if you don't know the who, what, when, where, and why of every of the situation? Even if you're reading the Bible, you need to understand the who, what, when, where, and why. When you're studying other religions or you're studying in school, maybe you're going to school to be a doctor, you have to understand the who, what, when, where, and why. I'm telling you, I just been thinking about that since I watched, and I just watched him tonight, but I just been thinking about that. You know, and when I study, I was taught that that's how you study the Bible. And so I began to implement that as I studied other religions and other religious texts. So, and I encourage that in my children. All of my children will ask you 100 questions about something. Every one of them, even Zane, will continue to ask the same questions. So, you know, I encourage you to, instead of worrying so much about outside, because I don't know about anybody else, but I'm angry, I'm emotional, I'm sad, I, I, I've just been all over the place, guys, emotionally with everything going on. And everywhere you look, all you see on social media and TV and is about everything that's going on. And I think that sometimes if we just scale it down, right, it doesn't seem as big or as overwhelming. If you scale it down and just take care of what you're responsible for, your home, if you start there, that helps. One, it helps give you some direction, right? And sometimes when you're all over the place, not having an idea of where you're heading is one of the most frustrating things. Anybody who's ever wrote a paper, or, you know, if you're a writer, some people are writers, I am not. But look, sometimes you start writing and you be like, well, I do, maybe not you, but you feel like, wait a minute, where am I going with this? What am I, you know, you're just kind of at a loss for words. And that has nothing to do, I don't think it has anything to do with education or academic ability. I believe it has everything to do with sometimes your mind just is overwhelmed. The same thing happens with our bodies with stress, right? I mean, my life has been a journey. And up until I got sick in 2016, I never really had no trouble with no stress. But I'm going to tell y'all what, since I have gotten sick, if I get stressed out, my body does not like me. And it does some terrible things to itself. So stress is the same way on your mind. And it affects your family, your marriages, your relationship with your children. It affects all kinds of stuff, because when your mind is full, you don't have room for patience. You don't have room for understanding or compromise. And so you're angry and you lash out because you just don't have room for any of those positive things. I'm guilty. Two hands here. But if we would just focus on smaller things at a time, instead of sometimes you have to look at the small little things to find joy. to find peace. It's in the little things. Because look, 2020 has been a year. Do you hear me? It has definitely been a year of clarity, a year requiring vision. And we only halfway done, y'all. But you know, I said from the beginning, all my people tell you 2020 was going to be a year of clarity. People were going to see things clearly. There were things, confusion and shadows that were cast over things were going to begin to, you know, just kind of fall to the back. So, you know, I encourage you to find out where your focus can be, where it should be. You know, by should, I mean, don't go try to fix somebody else's problem if you got the same problem at home. You know, you got to sweep around your own front door before you tell somebody else it's a mess in front of theirs. Or something like that. I can't remember how that saying goes, but y'all know what I'm saying. So I just want to encourage you guys to just decompress, take some deep breaths. Hey, sis. Hey, Natasha. You have to make sure that you are not overwhelming your mind. There is nothing wrong with disconnecting for a day or two. There is nothing wrong with saying, I can't help you with that because right now I'm on overload. So I'm going to need you to give me a second. There's nothing wrong with saying, no, I just can't. Not later, not never. I cannot. But guys, if you don't take care of yourself, you know the Bible say, love your neighbor as you love yourself. What that means is if you don't love you, you can't love nobody else. If you don't treat you well, how are you going to treat anybody else well? It's tough. Let me tell you something. It is tough to be angry and to try to be a good mother. It's tough to be angry and to try to be a good wife. And listen, if you're angry, you need to find the source of the anger. The anger is just a symptom. But you have to find the source. And I don't care how much you have to pull the rug back and how much stuff is under the rug. You just got to clean it out. You got to spring clean, boo. That's it. You got to spring clean. And in doing that, and doing that in your home, and doing that in your family, it's going to lighten the load substantially. But y'all, I got to get off here because, like I told y'all, Zane threw up right before I came on. So I'm gonna go and check on my baby because I just keep thinking about him. So I'm gonna go and be with him. And you guys, look, y'all go like my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. I'm gonna start doing some little little uploads on there. I'm gonna do more on there. And also go, if you don't mind, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you'll follow me on here, I will appreciate that. And I'm still working on the lighting and cameras, and you know, it's a work in progress, guys. But I just want you guys to know that I appreciate those of you that come on and watch with me. I appreciate everyone that watches after. If you watch this later, because I know there's a lot that see this after the show goes on, after I'm finished recording, because I don't have a set time. Sometimes it's 15 minutes, 30 minutes, sometimes an hour and a half. So I don't never know either. So I really, honestly, I come on here and wing it. I try not to rehearse what I'm gonna do because it's not as real. It's not as authentic. So that's that. And I will see you guys on Friday at 9 o'clock. Okay? And you guys have a great rest of your week. And remember to love yourself so that you can appropriately love others.